Hi there, this is Solitary Ronan from Solitary Ronan Films, and welcome to another random review. Today's random review is a modern film from 2022. It's from Iran. It was actually nominated for an Oscar for Best International Picture. I don't believe it won. It's World War III. This is the latest release from Deaf Crocodile. It's not animation. This is a film with people in it. I'm sure you're probably aware of films with people in it. And again, you have a lovely booklet, and you have quotes from filmmakers saying how wonderful the film is. You've got quotes from Gus Van Sant and Atta Magoyan in these pages. I'll try and describe it as much as I can, but I'm not going to go into every little detail because, again, it was made in 2022, which is already 2 years ago. So the film opens with the main character, who you'll have to forgive me, Mohsen Tanabandeh, that's probably not his name, of course, who gives an amazing performance. And he's a guy who's struggling to make ends meet in Iran. Obviously, Iran politically, there's lots of poverty. We see him doing his best to try and make some money. The film opens with him telling a wonderful story about a female dog he saw get hit by a car and is killed, but its pup still drinks milk from her, and that pretty much sums up the rest of the film. We see him on the phone on a video call to someone, and he's using sign language. We see him, as we see in quite a lot of films featuring people desperate to make ends meet, on a road waiting for pickup trucks to come by and ask, and say, oh, we need 10 workers, we need 5 workers, whatever. So he's unsuccessful on the first truck, and then another truck comes by offering a lot less money, but he gets on anyway. So they're driven to this field out in the middle of nowhere, and they're kind of building something, and then he's asked to come back the following day, and this kind of becomes a regular thing for him. And we realise that these workers, these poor workers, are building a film set. And he gets the job of looking after this kind of bunker area in the film set, which is leaking when it rains, and it's not very pleasant. And of course, if you've seen some of the images that I've put up, the filmmakers are making a film which features Hitler, and it's a concentration camp that they're partly building with a big red house where Hitler lives, and the poor workers don't really get told what's going on. They're suddenly told, put on these striped uniforms. We all know what they are. And then they're just become extras in the film, and they're pushed through into a shower room, and we realise what he's been guarding at night is the gas chamber, or the gas chamber in the film. I'll say right now, the film is darkly funny. Now, some people will probably find the film offensive. Personally, I did find it darkly funny. There are lines like, he didn't like the gas chamber, so he can sleep somewhere else. So, during one of the scenes, as our main character, who we empathise with because we've seen what he's going through to survive, you can make up your own mind if you empathise with him throughout the whole film. That's just one of the kind of complexities of the film. Do you actually like this guy during the whole film? Are you on his side for the whole film? The actor who plays Hitler has a health problem, so they're desperate to find a replacement, and you can probably guess who they find for a replacement. Yes, it's our protagonist of the film, so he ends up playing Hitler. We find out that his wife and child were killed in the recent earthquake. He gets wonderful advice on how to play Hitler from the producer. There is, I think, the female assistant director who is more kind of on his side than the producers, who know that they're probably going to lose money with this film. And our protagonist doesn't help himself, because there are other situations that he gets in. He's trying to help a woman. I'll leave it at that. This is going to be a short review, as I said, because I don't want to give too much away. Yeah, even though I've given plenty away. So it's a film about people being exploited to make a film about somebody who exploited and murdered lots of poor people and people he didn't like. It also forms a wonderful behind the scenes film within a film of the struggles of making a film, especially in Iran. We do find out that Hitler isn't going to be the only dictator in the film. Maybe that's for the sequel, World War IV, I don't know. Needless to say, things go from bad to worse. And that's where the film really becomes interesting. Not that it wasn't interesting before, but it becomes more interesting as we, the audience, do we agree what the main character is doing, or is he just becoming more and more delusional, more and more desperate, as the people keep getting him to sign more and more contracts to say, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do this, and obviously proceeds to do these things. It's also, strangely in some way, a cautionary tale about if you're, quote, falling in love with the wrong sort of person, and you may or may not be exploited by that person, how far down into the very pits of hell are you willing to go? How desperate are you? It doesn't pull any punches. Again, some people will just not like it at all. Some people will be offended by it, as I said. But again, in some ways, it's Iranian. But as we know, people around the world have the same feelings and desires and faults that everybody does. You know, and we're all kind of the same, even though governments will try and tell us that we're not. This one has a new hour-long video interview with director Houman Saidi and co-writer Azad Jafarian, moderated by Dennis Bartok of Deaf Crocodile, as he does, and that's fascinating, about how to make a film in Iran, period. There's a commentary by film critic Walter Chaw, and as well, there's the booklet as well. It's a wonderful film. It's absolutely fantastic, but again, not for everybody. But maybe it's just me, but I really enjoyed it and thought it was really funny. But again, it's maybe just me. So thanks very much for watching this shorter random review of World War III. Again, I don't want to go into every single detail because there's some wonderful, depressing and gut-wrenching moments in the film. So I hope you enjoy that. So please let me know if you've seen World War III, if you're one of these strange people that watch these modern films. And hopefully you'll join me again for more random reviews. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, saying farewell.